Next up, guys, speaking of long-term, we've got Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. Last time out, if you bet either side, you got your money back, right? A very rare draw in a title fight. And now we got to have a conclusion, right? It's all about conflict and conflict resolution. That's the name of this business. And I think that what we're looking at is, a fight between two women that are both highly credible, highly skilled, really deserving of the opportunity. But the question becomes, can Valentina Shevchenko change the result, right? And you are looking at an older fighter in this case, in Valentina Shevchenko. She's not old per se, but at 36 years of age, I do start to wonder how many years she has left at the highest level, and I certainly wonder how many years of cutting weight that she has at the highest level. Because if you guys remember, she had a lot of early career success. I'm going to pull up her Tapology right now. If you guys go back and look, Juliana Pena fighting for the title later this year, she defeated her in the bantamweight division, finished her via armbar. So this is a woman that clearly could qualify for a title fight if she was to go back up to the bantamweight division. And ultimately, guys, that's how I thought it was going to go last time. And that's how I feel like it's going to go this time. When I saw the last fight, I said to myself, man, Shevchenko made a lot of the right adjustments. She did a lot of things better. She fought smarter. She didn't make as many mistakes. But when, she made a mistake, Alexa made her pay really bad. This is a woman, and I want to clarify this. I want to go make sure that I fact check myself in real time, but I looked at this earlier, and I believe this to be true. Alexa Grasso, in her last fight, recorded a knockdown against Valentina Shevchenko, okay? Amanda Nunes recorded 0 knockdowns in, 40 minutes of fighting against Shevchenko, okay? So you have to ask yourself, that means one of two things. Either she just caught her right, she just caught her in the correct position, or she's kind of deteriorating in her chin. And that's only to be expected when you've had a lifetime of combat sports, a lifetime of martial arts, a lifetime of, frankly, getting hit in the head. And when you look at Alexa Grasso, the other thing that stands out on UFC stats, she went and she fought Valentina Shevchenko, and she got outlanded the first time that they fought, but she was able to finish her. The second time they fought, she was able to reverse that, right? She was able to outland Valentina. So you've got the fighter who's slightly bigger, the fighter who's slightly younger, or I should say significantly younger, right? So you've got a fighter who's in their prime, right next to their championship level prime, who's now gotten a ton of experience, 40 minutes of experience against Shevchenko to try and build off of. And she's taking her on in a favorable environment where Shevchenko was very open about the fact she did not want to fight her at another Mexico-themed event. Where are we fighting? At a Mexico-themed event. Like, I feel like a lot of the things have been stacked in the favor of Alexa Grasso. And the other thing I would notice is, when you look at Alexa Grasso, I think she's extremely talented. I think she's extremely skilled. But I also think she's shown a little bit of reservation, which is, reasonable. Right, against Shevchenko, one of the best in the division. She doesn't want to go out there and overextend herself. I feel like now she knows, I can submit this girl. I can hit her and hurt her. I can put her on the ground and put her in bad situations. The thing she can't afford to do is get constantly taken down in this fight. So I think that she's going to have worked on her ground game, getting back up to her feet, defending takedowns, and then landing with more impact while they're on the feet, because she already showed she can go out there and land more volume in this rerun. So for me, I feel like over 25 minutes, I prefer to see, Alexa Grasso. I think she's the side here ultimately, because I think that for Valentina Shevchenko to win this fight, I think she's got to fight either, to get a finish, which she said, like, I'm willing to go do. I don't know that she can do that, right? I think that Grasso is a durable, tough girl. I think that she's gritty. I think she's a real competitor. And I think that Shevchenko is not a prolific submission artist, right? So what is she going to do? She has to knock out Alexa Grasso, who I think is very defensively responsible, relative to Valentina. And I think that when I'm looking at this fight, I'm thinking to myself, man, Shevchenko likes to have that bailout strategy, which is the takedowns here. So if she's not able to get to the takedowns, I think she could get very uncomfortable on the feet with Alexa Grasso. I think that the damage could start to add up. Like I said, it's a long career. So for me, I'm feeling like Grasso has a few different paths to win this fight. And I feel like Shevchenko's path to winning it is pretty limited. I think she's got to win it via decision. I think it's possible. I think there's good plus money numbers on Shevchenko via decision, if that's how you envision her getting this done. But ultimately for me, I think that it's not just narrative for me. There's a number of different considerations, narrative, fight, every different angle for me. I just prefer the Alexa Grasso side here. Younger fighter, closer to their prime, all-time motivation spot, I feel. And it's, for me, a woman who was at the peak of her powers a few years ago and already showed signs of decline that I tried to fade on the way down. And now she's trying to get it back all these years later when I already saw those signs of decline. I think the decline could be more rapid in this one, despite the fact that she had a great showing last time. She's now just spent a lot of time out of the cage at the Ultimate Fighter, and I'm not sure how much that's behooved her development, right? Helping other people, it's a great thing. But for me, I feel like what we've seen is Shevchenko, a very natural coach, right? A very natural to maybe start looking at that portion of her career. How can I help other fighters? How can I put others in a position to succeed? But Alexa Grasso, still right in the meat of an athletic career, 31 years of age, and the best thing going in Mexican MMA right now. That's why she's in this position. So for me, I feel like Alexa Grasso is going to get the job done here and retain her championship belt. And I think that it's going to be tough sledding from there on out, right? A lot of very scary contenders on the rise at 125. But I think that Grasso is going to be the one to stand off those contenders. And I think Valentina Shevchenko's future is at 135 pounds. So no disrespect to the Bullet. We wish her well. I think she's a great fighter, but she robbed me excuse my language. She robbed me blind against Taila Santos, in my humble opinion. So I'll just say, I think that, the justice was done when we got Alexa Grasso at plus 660. Now, do I want to chase it to the chalk number? Not necessarily, but I think she gets the job done. So if you're asking me for my first look is Alexa Grasso getting this job done against Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. And I've already shared on Patreon some thoughts I have on the prop market, as well as some thoughts I had, on previous iterations of this fight in the prop market. And I'll just say I was one of the few people that not only called Grasso to win the fight, but I called her to win it by submission on Roto Grinders in, live and in color, right? So I'm going to show you guys just so you know that I'm not talking out of my butt. I think that was UFC 285, right? Jones versus Gane. My co-host on a show that I did for Roto Grinders won the 100,000 or whatever it is for winning the big takedown for UFC 285. And it was in part a result of our call on Alexa Grasso. So if you guys see here, I think I got the round wrong. I think it was round 4, if my memory is serving. But I'm sharing the wrong page now, guys. I'm not technically competent. Please forgive me. Here we go. UFC 285 breakdown. All in lettering. And we'll read a little excerpt here. Valentina Shevchenko has been a long-reigning champion in the women's flyweight division, but the division has started to catch up to her, as evidenced by her most recent bout in which she was awarded a controversial split decision against unheralded Brazilian challenger Taila Santos. Liam's brief editorial, I bet Taila Santos plus 400 in that spot for 2.5 units. I got absolutely robbed blind. In any case, Alexa Grasso began her run as a UFC strawweight, but she has been purposeful about acquiring mass and developing her physicality as she climbed the ranks at flyweight. Fact. Then she dispatched Joanne Wood in short order at UFC Columbus. I was there in person. She absolutely dispatched that woman. The fight proved Grasso has the cardio to fight for a full 25 minutes against Viviana Rujao. She has the tenacity to compete without losing focus. Guys, did you hear that? Without losing focus. Who lost focus first? Shevchenko. Who broke focus first? Shevchenko. She went for that spin kick when she shouldn't have. She gave up the neck, and that was all she wrote. And if you look here, Alexa Grasso defeats Shevchenko via club and sub. I thought it was going to have to be set up with the punches, but no. I mentioned Grasso, a BJJ purple belt with proficient boxing, a maturing kicking game, and people are counting her out unjustly. Bang. We were there. We were there live and in color. We knew what was about to happen. We tried to tell you what time it was. So I think that for me, it's always been Alexa Grasso's fight. It's always been her fight to lose. And I think last time was a little bit of an underperformance. I think this time she's ready to go in prime time. And I think she's going to get this job done.